Welcome, welcome to another Contemplative Living podcast. All right, today it looks like we're going to explore enthusiasm, passion, and joy. Those are some good topics. We could use a little bit more of that all the time, right? So I want to welcome you if you like this. Tune in every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, and you'll get to catch another live episode of Contemplative Living. And if you want, you can join me here. Um, you can you can use the link down below here if you want to come on live, if you want to contribute to the conversation, or just uh, just be present and watch the show. And also, if you want, give a shout out. We always appreciate shout outs if you're watching us live. Okay, so let's get started today. So you have to excuse me. I've got a new computer today, so I'm trying to work the bugs out. But the first one today is when we live with enthusiasm, we fully engage our brains, our bodies, and our bodies in our activities. So we fully engage our brains and our bodies in our activities, building new pathways that foster health and well being. Enthusiasm is a critical component to our life. If we don't have enthusiasm, how can we find joy? And those of us that have had spiritually transformative experiences or near death experiences or something of the like, we know that within love, there is enthusiasm. Within love, there is passion. Within love, there is joy. And so, if we bring that into our life, if we engage our brains and our bodies and bring that enthusiasm into all of our activities, then we are building pathways, not only pathways in our brain that tend to move us in a more positive and empowered direction, but they also inwardly begin to manifest outwardly. And then and that develops a sense of well-being, that we're on our path, that we're serving our purpose. These are all the things that you see when you allow yourself to reach that contemplative state, to be who you are, and then begin to live it. And enthusiasm is infectious. If you step into a room with a sense of enthusiasm, that you're just excited to be here and that this present moment is the best thing that there is, then it's infectious to everyone else. And it's fun to watch sometimes, to watch how people turn around and become enthusiastic with you. So bring that enthusiasm, bring that passion into all that you do. Okay. Passion is energy. It's the power that comes from focusing on what really excites the divine within you. Our divine sense has an energy all of its own that brings a passion into our activities, that brings that passion into everything that we do. And it's good to jump for joy. It's good to get into that passion and allow it to envelop you and drive you and give you the energy that you need to focus on what's really important and what really excites you. Because when we're coming from a place of excitement and we're focused on that project or on that, whatever that may be, we can put more energy into it because we're being given more energy. You know, we need, when we give away, we also receive. And many times we feel trapped in the circumstances that we live in. And so what do? We build like a little shell. We go inside our shell, and we don't want to interact. But that's the that's not the best way to come at it. Um, if we allow our passion to build and develop our focus, then we don't need that protective wall. We don't need that. We can focus and project our excitement, our energy, our passion, and bring it into all of the projects that we that we're that we're working on today, tomorrow. It's uh, it's a great way to to live our lives. So this one says, we become what we believe. We were just talking about that. We become what we believe. Remaining positive sends our bodies and spirit loving messages that maintain good health and joy. And I mean, don't we all want joy? Don't we all want good health? Don't we all want to be positive in what we're doing? It's hard sometimes. It's really hard. Sometimes we get so pulled away by the circumstances. And I know the last couple of weeks we've talked about, circumstances and how they can pull us away from our center. But if we believe in love, if we believe in enthusiasm, if we believe in the divine passion that lives within us, then we become that. And that positivity becomes empowering, and it sends our bodies that energy that it needs. The cells need energy in order to grow and to sustain our sense of vitality. So by sending them those positive elements, you're giving it the best energy it can have to maintain good health and that positive outlook. It's when we fall into, negativity, despair, that's when, we start to feel sluggish. We don't have the energy that we need. So maintaining a positive outlook is critical. And it's hard sometimes. I mean, things sometimes knock us down, and it's hard to be positive when we're down. But what's going to bring us up? How do we turn that around? Is by infusing ourselves with the energy of positivity. It can really embolden your life. It can help you move forward in all types of situations. So, I mean, maintaining that positivity is absolutely critical. Now, when we're doing that, when we're living in that positive state, we begin to live agelessly. See yourself as an ageless being that grows in wisdom and spiritual fulfillment. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? So, and Mary Beth, morning, Mary Beth. Glad to see you guys. Great shout outs. Thanks. So, living agelessly, see yourself as that ageless being that grows in wisdom and spiritual fulfillment. I mean, don't we all want to grow spiritually? Don't we all want to feel like we're connected to that divine essence? So, living in the present enables us to stop time because we're no longer living in the past. We're no longer worried or concerned about the future. By living in the present, we do stop time because this moment is all that matters in this moment. Justine, hey, good morning. I try to live in the moment as much as I can. But hey, we're all human, right? And we can't always do that. It's impossible to be present all the time because we are human and we have circumstances that pull us back down. And it's hard to maintain that sense of awareness above the circumstances where we're no longer so much wrapped up in the passion of the moment, but we're seeing the moment clearly. And that's what this is all about, is rising above the circumstances and seeing clearly. And when we do that, we're in the present moment. And this is something, it's been, Eckhart Tolle talks a lot about it in The Power of Now, about being here now. It's been a theme for ages. It's not anything new. To live in the present gives you the most power that you have. And by being present, we're using all that enthusiasm, all of the passion, all of our love, and that divine essence within us to move forward. And we don't need to worry about the future because when we're living this present moment with enthusiasm, with joy, with positivity, we're building, and it just keeps building, and it's moving toward a better future. Change is necessary. We live in a society that's ever changing, and that's okay. It's okay to sometimes we just don't want to see the change. Sometimes we don't want to be a part of the change. But we have to recognize that change just simply is. It's not about good or bad. It's about just being present in this situation. We may not be happy about what's going on, but we can change it and we can move forward. And that's an important message, especially in today's, what's going on in today's world. So engage in activities that bring joy. Choose to live from an open-hearted awareness. Approach life with a positive perspective and then truly live. I mean, sometimes it doesn't feel like we're living. Sometimes it feels like we're still, we've got those protective walls up and everything, and we're not allowing ourselves to live. But if we engage in our activities that bring joy, and happy Father's Day to everybody that's out there today, those fathers, but choose to live from open-hearted awareness. What does that mean, open-hearted awareness? It means that you're seeing through your heart. You're experiencing through your heart. Our minds are amazing, amazing mechanisms to help us to decide and to discern, and yes, to judge, which isn't necessarily always the best thing. But sometimes we do need judgment. We need to be able to judge what's healthy for us, what's good for us, and discern whether we need to step away. But if we're listening through our hearts, we can leave a lot of the judgment aside, be in the present moment, and stay positive. Because within our heart is that enthusiasm, is that divine enthusiasm and joy that comes from love. Remember in the very beginning, I said love contains enthusiasm, love contains passion, and love contains a positive element that can help us. And it generates that energy to truly live our lives and to move forward in all aspects of our life. I mean, wouldn't that be more satisfying to be able to live, a more easy flowing type of life? Okay. Sorry, my assistant just spoke up. Um, Follow your compass. Within us, we all have a guiding sense. Many of us call it our purpose, but think of it as a compass. And while we're following our guidance, that sense of inner knowing, be strong and gracious. And realize that there is joy in awareness during your adventure. So we were just talking about being present. And a lot of times, hey, we take these little life adventures. And if we embrace them with awareness, we get to see the joy. Many times we miss so much that's going on around us. We miss all, we tend to have this like tunnel vision as we go through life. And that's not the type of vision that I'm talking about. The type of visioning I'm talking about is expansive and knowing where you are within nature. A friend of mine was here yesterday and we were talking about living within your surroundings and being aware and using that awareness to show you the way. It is connected to your compass. It's connected to who you are and your divine purpose. So, knowing that, and when you see things in your life that kind of help point you in the direction, isn't that a joyous moment? Isn't that a level of awareness that brings joy? I try very hard. And I'm human and I'm a guy and I do stupid stuff, but that's normal. But I don't beat myself up for it. What I do is I try to go back into that expansiveness of my consciousness and allow it to show me where I am and my surroundings around me. That allows me to be more present. And that also works with your inner dialogue. So foster an inner dialogue that's nurturing, supports a clear vision, and then live in alignment with true purpose. Our inner dialogue is crucial to our health and well being. If we're not treating ourselves with love and care and open heartedness, then we are bringing ourselves down. We need that light of love in our dialogue with ourselves. And that helps us to rise above and have a clearer vision. Living in alignment is all about fostering that inner dialogue in a positive manner. So what have we talked about today? We've talked about enthusiasm. We've talked about joy and passion. That's what our inner dialogue should be like. That's how we should treat ourselves. And that's the basis. It creates a foundation so that we can see clearly and live centered and aligned. And we know when we're there because things seem to flow when we're in alignment. And that tends to reveal what our purpose is. When the when the life we're living flows naturally, without hardship, without restriction, we know we're on our path. So I want to thank you today for coming and listening to my little contemplation